What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to WrestleMania 5. We got 5 of these things already. When I came up with the idea, I didn't think we'd make it this far, but somehow we did. Anyway, we are here with WrestleMania 5. I'm in a different location now, so hopefully the lighting will be better. Got my notes on my clipboard once again. That's going to be my regular thing here for these reviews. I'm sorry if I'm looking at the screen and not the lens. I have a habit of doing that. Anyway, let's get right into this. WrestleMania 5. I watched it yesterday, or last night. I finished it this morning. It happened April 2nd, 1989 at the Trump Towers, or Trump Plaza in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The same place that WrestleMania 4 happened. 18,946 people in attendance. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. We kicked off the show with King Haku versus Hercules. Bobby the Brain Heenan was out there. This was the first of many, many times that we see Bobby the Brain Heenan on the show. So I hope you guys are Bobby Heenan fans, because if you watch this, you'll see him a lot. Haku attacks Hercules when his back is turned to start the match out. And overall, there's some good back and forth action between both men. Ultimately, Hercules wins in the end. I enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't a terrible match. There's far worse matches on this show. This one wasn't bad. Up next, we had the Twin Towers versus the Rockers. This was the debut of Mr. Wrestlemania, Shawn Michaels, at WrestleMania. His WrestleMania debut. It wasn't his WWE debut. It was his WrestleMania debut. The first WrestleMania of Shawn Michaels. And this, it's okay. I'm a big fan of the Rockers. I feel like if they were a tag team now, currently in 2023, 33 years later, or 34, however long it is, I feel like I'd be a big fan of theirs. So I am a huge fan, but this match just, it wasn't there for me. There were a couple of good moments overall. Like, the Twin Towers were chasing the Rockers around the ring. I thought that was kind of cool, but like, at one moment, Marty Jannetty was sandwiched between Akeem and Big Boss Man. I thought that was kind of cool too, but otherwise, the Twin Towers pick up the victory. It was okay. I gave it 2 stars. Nothing great, nothing horrible, just Ted DiBiase versus Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Again, another match that I thought was just kind of okay. It wasn't a great match. It wasn't horrible. Just kind of there. Just a match to fill the card. Virgil gets involved. There's a bunch of back and forth action. And what ultimately made this match just okay for me was that it ended up being a double countout, which I think I've said this before, even in one of the Mania reviews. I hate double countouts. I hate double DQs. I hate those kinds of finishes. Even if the story needs it, I still hate it. I always feel like there needs to be a winner. And when there's a double countout or a double disqualification, there isn't a winner. So, yeah. I gave that match 2 stars as well. Up next is the Fabulous Roju brothers versus the Bushwhackers. And this match might be the worst match so far. It's the second tag match of the show, I think. Did I skip a match? No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, this match just kind of sucked. Nothing against both teams as a whole. I like the Bushwhackers. I like the Roju brothers. But the match just wasn't there. Jimmy Hart was out there at one point with the Roju brothers. The Bushwhackers were chasing him around and took his jacket. I thought that was kind of funny, but everything else just kind of sucked. The Bushwhackers ended up winning. I gave the match 1 star. Kind of sucked in my opinion. Mr. Perfect versus the Blue Blazer. This match I enjoyed a little more. I thought this was decent. They smacked each other a few times. Blue Blazer, which for those of you that don't know is Owen Hart, he really got to show off his athleticism here in this match. He is such a good talent in the ring. It's sad what happened to him. Very sad. I do believe that if he didn't have his accident, he would have been WWE champion at some point. He was amazing. And this match here really proves it. He shows what he can truly do. Bunch of good back and forth action. I gave this match 3 stars. I enjoyed it. Is it the best match of the whole card? No. But it's still enjoyable. I liked it. Where are we next? Here. The first title match on the show is also a handicap match. The World Tag Team titles. Demolition are the champions. And they are defending against the Powers of Pain and Mr. Fuji. Demolition, at this point, this was when they were on their run as the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. And they had some really good matches during this run. But this match, it was okay. I'm lost. Like, I don't know how to explain this. Like, the match was good, but it wasn't, if that makes any sense. Like, I wrote here, there's going to be some heavy hitting because there's 5 men in the match. 4 of them are huge powerhouse guys. They're big guys. So there'll be some heavy hitting in this match. And there was some. Demolition was just kind of demolishing the Powers of Pain, no pun intended. And just pretty much that whole first half of the match, Demolition was just in charge. They took over. Powers of Pain and Mr. Fuji got some offense here and there, but ultimately Demolition won. I gave it 2 stars. It was okay. Dino Bravo versus Ronnie Garvin. I wrote barely nothing for this match. It kind of sucked. I just was bored with it. I gave the match half a star. Dino Bravo won. The Brainbusters versus Strike Force. Let's take this out here. Yeah, the Brainbusters versus Strike Force. This match, again, not great, not horrible. At one moment in the match, all 4 men were in the ring fighting together all at once. It was a cool moment. Tully Blanchard does an eye poke. There was a double figure 4 leg lock by Strike Force at one point, but then the Brainbusters ultimately end up winning. And then out of nowhere, Rick Martel ends up walking away and leaving his partner there in the ring, breaking up Strike Force. I know 24/7 kind of mentioned that in the Mania 4 review, that they break up at some point. That's here. That moment I thought was cool. That's still an awesome moment. That's why I gave the match 2.5 stars. Because the match, again, it was okay, better than some of the other tag matches that happened on the show, but still not great. But that moment at the end where Rick Martel walks away on his own, I thought was a decent moment. I gave it 2.5 stars. Okay, yeah, I'm on track. Andre the Giant versus Jake Roberts. This match just kind of sucked. This was Andre the Giant's last one-on-one match at WrestleMania, and you could tell here in this match that he didn't have much left in him. He wasn't as good as he once was in this match. Big John Studd is a special guest referee in this match, but just not much went on that was good. Jake Roberts did what he did, and that was awesome. He did what he tried to do to make the match as best as he could. Jake Roberts did end up winning by disqualification because Andre the Giant, I can't read my own writing. That's the problem here. Yeah, Jake Roberts wins by disqualification. I gave it 1.5 stars. Like, I'm sorry, Andre the Giant is one of the greatest of all time, but like at this point in his career, this was only like 3 or 4 years before he passed away. His second to last WrestleMania match, like, you can tell he wasn't so good in this match. You can tell he was having some problems. Up next, Greg Valentine and Honky Tonk Man versus the Hart Foundation. There were a lot of tag team matches on this show. This one was pretty good. I enjoyed this one. Might be the best tag team match on the show. Jimmy Hart back out there again. Him too. He's another one that's out there a lot with Bobby Heenan. And yeah, this was a really good match. Jimmy Hart talking on the megaphone constantly, as he always did for most of his matches. Hart Foundation was double teaming. Match kind of started out kind of slow, but it sped up and got a little faster and better as it went on. Greg Valentine, Honky Tonk Man had some frequent tags back and forth, so they were in there a lot. Bret Hart then uses Jimmy Hart's megaphone, and the Hart Foundation ends up winning the match. This was, as I just stated, probably the best tag team match on the show. I gave it 3 stars. It was awesome. I enjoyed it. And then the Intercontinental title match. This was the best match up to this point on the show. The Ultimate Warrior versus Ravishing Rick Rude. Warrior, again, another one of the greatest of all time. Rick Rude, one of the greatest of all time. Both men are phenomenal talent. I love both men. Warrior in particular. Just so much action and heavy hitting back and forth and so much going on. Rude hit a diving drop kick. Warrior was biting Rude. Warrior breaks out of the Rude awakening. Bobby Heenan is out there and cheats to win, causing Rick Rude to get the victory and become the Intercontinental Champion. 3.5 stars. This was awesome. I enjoyed it. I thought about giving it 4 stars, but because of... the reason it's not is only because Bobby Heenan cheating to win. If Rick Rude won on his own, I'd give it 4 stars. But 3.5 stars, I still enjoyed it. It was best match so far up to this point. Bad News Brown versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Again, much like the other match earlier, I wrote barely nothing for this match. Bad News Brown starts instantly by beating up Jim Duggan. That's about it. Double disqualification finish. I gave it 0 stars. I didn't care much for it at all. 2 matches to go. Bobby Heenan versus the Red Rooster. And again, I didn't write much for this match. The Red Rooster wins. I also gave this match 0 stars. But now, the main event for the WWE Championship, Macho Man Randy Savage versus Hulk Hogan. This was by far the best match of the show. Match still talked about to this day. The mega powers explode. Savage, probably one of my favorite wrestlers from this era, this golden era of wrestling back in the 80s. I love Savage. Hulk Hogan is great too, but Savage, I love him. Steamboat is another one I love. I think I talked about that in the Mania 3 review. I love Steamboat, but Savage too. And just a lot of action back and forth. And the story to this match was so good. That's why I watch wrestling. I watch because of the storytelling. That's the part of wrestling that made me fall in love with wrestling, is the storytelling. And the story to this match arguably was better than the match itself. But so much happens. Miss Elizabeth comes out. She tries to help Savage in a way. She then ends up leaving to go backstage at one point. And then there's other points even before that, though, where Savage was bad-mouthing Miss Elizabeth for some reason. But so much happened. Hulk Hogan gets busted open. He's bleeding. Savage then takes off his wrist tape and he's choking Hogan with it when the referee didn't notice. Savage hits an elbow drop and then Hogan just gets up and starts hulking up and does his big kick and the leg drop. Hogan wins, becomes WWE champion once again, 4.5 stars. Why is it not a 5-star match? Honestly, I don't know. I didn't feel the need to give it a 5-star match. I don't know why, I just didn't. The story, if we were given the story as a whole a star rating, it'd be exceeding 5 stars. This is a great story that they told. But the match as a whole, 4.5. Overall, though, I gave the show like a 5.5, 5.5 out of 10, around there. It's okay. Not the worst Mania of all time. Nowhere near the best, though. It's just kind of middle of the road. I think it's the worst one I've reviewed so far of the 3. Yeah, ultimately, it was just okay. Next week, though, you guys get WrestleMania 6 with 24/7. You get another phenomenal match between Hogan and Warrior on that show. So I'm looking forward to his review. That'll probably be the best Mania that he gets to review so far on the channel, because he's had 2 and 4. Both suck. So he's in for a treat for Mania 6. I think he's obviously seen it before, but it's been a while. But anyway, I think you guys will enjoy it too. Thanks for watching. Stick around next week. WrestleMania 6 review is coming. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.